Graham Potter's time in charge of West Ham just really hasn't got going, has it? It has been a tricky 7 months since he came into place to replace Julien Lopetegui back in January. At that point, West Ham were 14th in the Premier League, 7 points above the relegation zone, with just 6 league wins on the board. His main job then was simple: bring some belief, get results, and make sure we didn't get dragged into that relegation scrap. And to be fair, it did start well. A win over Fulham in the first game, then back-to-back victories over Arsenal and Leicester back in February. Suddenly, we looked safe. Suddenly, we were pretty much safe from relegation, wrapped up by March, especially with the promoted sides struggling. But after that, it all went a little bit flat. West Ham didn't win again until beating a poor Manchester United side back in May, 9 games later. And we ended the season exactly where we'd started under Graham Potter, and that was in 14th place. Now, most fans are, or probably were, willing to give him a bit of time, and the idea was that a full summer, a proper pre-season, and a chance to recruit players would let him really put his stamp on this team. But if we're honest, when you look at the business we did, it's not like we brought in a huge amount of talent. In fact, losing Kudus, albeit when he didn't play well last season, is a massive blow. And whilst 5 new faces came in, the squad doesn't look dramatically stronger than last year. Fast forward to this season, Saturday's 3-0 defeat to promoted Sunderland brought everything into sharp focus. The numbers do not lie either. 20 games in charge, 5 wins, 5 draws, 10 losses. That's just a 25% win rate, which is worse than when he managed at both Brighton and Chelsea, and for a club like West Ham, that simply isn't good enough. Yes, Karen Brady has come out and given him the club's backing, and I've got to say I was really annoyed with that selfish interview that she did in TalkSport. It didn't add anything to the table, didn't reassure fans, and to be honest, it felt more like about her than the football club. But when you combine that with Potter's record, the poor performances, the growing frustration in the stands, the reality is that he needs results, and quickly, because in football, and especially at West Ham, managers don't get endless amounts of time. Even though Brady has said that managers do get time at West Ham, I'm not so sure it is exactly as it comes across. So the questions I ask to you are as follows. Would you give Potter time at West Ham? Would you give him time? Would you back him in the transfer market? And if you would give him time, how much more time? I say season upon season that when it comes to the summer, there's a chance to reset, especially when you've not had a good season. When you have a good season, you don't need to reset. What you need to do is push on, and West Ham never do that. West Ham have not pushed on for a long, long time, and we've just took the 1 step forward and taken 10 steps back, and that's the way it feels this season. We haven't recruited well. I've not been enamoured by our recruitment because I always want recruitment to be done early. I think most clubs do, and clubs are out there doing it. So why are we different? We're just not an attractive proposition. Is that what it is? I don't know. So the question I do ask you is, how long would you give Potter to turn this around at West Ham? Would you give a time to Potter to turn this around at West Ham? Would you back him at West Ham? Is he the issue? Does he tactically know what he's doing? The first half against Sunderland, I saw something. The second half, we imploded in ourselves. Put it in the comments and let me know your thoughts. How long will Potter get to turn it round at West Ham? Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. Come on, you irons.